What's up to the family? I just decided to go live. I don't know how many people I'm gonna get in here. I need to start getting some moderators together, truth be told, because I notice a lot of people come in, and just trolling, whatnot, and so on and so forth. But I got a lot of topics I want to hit on and talk today about, family. Let me get a little quick sip of water. Yeah, I got a lot of topics that I want to touch on and discuss. So I'm gonna try to slow down the chat though, maybe if I can too, to get to all your comments, because sometimes it's hard for me to jump in between screens to actually start to look at the comment section, as I'm putting these things together. Because sometimes when I'm looking, it throws off my train of thought, looking too much at the comment section. So, hopefully we don't get no trolls in here today, but that comes along with the territory. Wherever there's love, there's going to be hate. I don't, truth be told, think the two can exist independently of one another. You're always going to have an opposite to something. But the first thing I want to touch on, I don't know if any of the family seen or heard this video. I got it from Brother Tariq Nasheed, though. So we're going to be playing the video soon. And I'm trying to get learn how to do that feature where you get, I can start pulling videos into my live stream. So if anybody knows how to do that, put it in the chat. I was messing around a little bit with OBS Studios. I think I'm on, the verge of getting it, but I'm not that computer savvy. So this is all new to me. I'm just, learning as I go, and I started to do more live streams to just, get acclimated to it. The more you do something, the more better you're going to get at it. But I don't know if any of the family has seen this video Brother Tariq that she put out of this African woman. She basically, talking that she ain't black and, saying that we lost as foundational Black Americans. We don't know where we come from, so on and so forth, which couldn't be further from the truth. So I got the audio and the video of this, and we're going to walk through and talk about it how we normally do. Fair use. Fair use. I wish I didn't have my brother's intro playing, but it is what it is.
I'm not black. Let me say that again. I am not black. Okay? Hear me out.
And that's very telling right there. This woman darker than me, Nigerian woman claiming that she ain't black. And this is because, other groups of people, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of these other groups of people, even if they are black, they view blackness as, some kind of disgrace or something like that, where we as foundational Black Americans, we wear our blackness with pride, and dignity. We proud to be black. And some of these other groups of people, I can't say the same for, but let's continue.
Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as black. She's like, you're not black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is black.
And see, we ain't taught that in, foundational Black American household. We taught to love blackness and love who we are as a people, so that ain't ingrained in our psyche, so this is crazy to me.
Obviously comes from the slave era, but it also just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know that.
Now she's saying we displaced and don't know our heritage. We're foundational Black Americans. Some of us were already here before the Christopher Columbus and the slave trade took place. Some of our people were brought over on them ships, but we know who we are, and many of us could trace our history, in our lineage back to the 1800s, 1700s, so on and so forth. Some of us maybe could even get back to the 16s. And these people, where they from, they just, they can't trace their history, back that far, and many of these places in the diaspora, they just recently got their name. And we've been here, we already been moving and shaking over here in the United States way before they got their name. They got their name from most of them from European powers anyway, you know what I mean? And the Romans, I believe, the ones that first said Africa or something like that, if I'm correct in that. But we know who we are as foundational Black Americans. We ain't no displaced Africans. We know that we're foundational Black Americans and we're responsible for the building of America. So these people, totally wrong in that aspect, claiming that we don't know where we from. So they can miss me with that. They don't know where they from in all actuality, because they fleeing all over the place. It's hard to know where you from when you flee. But let's continue.
Don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to try and curb racism in some way, people are going to be racist. Ignorance is ignorance. You can't But just curb racism in a small way. Stop referring to yourself as black. If you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household. Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians. Like, if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say black, it just sounds so harsh and like, this is black. I'm brown, I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. Like, that's who I am. That's where I come from. So I understand when you say black British or black American, because you don't know where you're from. You're just a person of color in the city that you're in. Obviously, you still be treated the way you're treated, but just like, I feel like
this woman don't know what she's talking about. We know where we're from. We foundational Black Americans. When we know we got tied to this land. They ran the number on our people when they got us to some of our people on that going back to Africa kick, where some of our people before we started to really know what things were on that type of time. When we claimed the land, that's where the power is, because many of our people didn't come over through the slave trade. Some of our people did, but some of our people were already here. This is why we call ourselves foundational, because we got ties to the land and we could trace our ancestral our lineage back in this land too. And a lot of these other people can't do that. You know what I mean? So they lost in all actuality. People fleeing everywhere, that's the people that's lost. We got claim to this land, and that's the part that they want to try to get us away from, is acknowledging our history and our ties to this American soil. But another thing I want to add is a lot of these people, they just run away from blackness. They view blackness as a bad thing. Not all of them. You do got some riders from the diaspora that come over from these other places, but the majority of them, from what I'm seeing here, with these videos lately, the majority of them don't even want to be viewed as black. They try to run away and shy away from blackness. When we as FBAs, Foundational Black Americans, we look at blackness as an honor, and we're proud to be black. We say that all the time. And we were saying that back in the day. You could just look at the song James Brown had, if you need evidence of this, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. We were on that type of time, so we don't view it as a bad thing. These other people, sometimes they view blackness as a bad thing, but I want to move right along. What else I want to touch on? Yeah, the brother Raheem of the Furious Five, he put out a video. I got some of that too, and he was up there at Doggy Diamonds, and he said how Fat Joe was racist. It was some girl that was a video vixen, and she was dating somebody that was foundational Black American, and Joe was like, wow, why are you dating those monkeys, so on and so forth. So I got the audio and the video of that, and we're gonna talk about it. Let me pull it up. Just a second, family. Let this little commercial play so I don't get copyrighted or nothing like that. Just a second. Here we go. Fair use, fair use.
Fat Joe is racist. Absolutely. So besides,
and this is Raheem again of the old school group, the Furious Five.
I think Fat Joe is racist. Mm-hmm. Or, no, I'm sorry. I don't think Fat Joe is racist. I know he is, because I was seeing a woman, and her cousin was seeing a dude. So the woman was like, not the one I was seeing, her cousin, she was like a video vixen. Mm-hmm. And she was in one of Fat Joe's videos.
Listen to this, family. It's very telling.
It's black.
Listen to that part right there. The video vixen and her man was black. And this is very telling about Fat Joe. We been knew Fat Joe was racist, you know what I mean? And he classifies himself as white. The dude Cuban Link of the old school group Terror Squad exposed that. He classifies himself as white, and he was getting broken off with trinkets and stuff like that from the Democratic plantation. When he was out here, trying to discredit foundational Black Americans, our lineage, he was getting broken off from the Democratic plantation too. I believe Cuban Link put that out as well.
Mm-hmm. And so, and she's Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. And so when Fat Joe was on the set with her, he's in her ear or whatever, and he was like, yo, like you you're making our people look bad with these monkeys.
You hear that? Crazy.
Facts, bro.
Crazy. You hear that? What Fat Joe said, the video vixen, she was Puerto Rican Latino, and she was with a brother, and he said, you making our people look bad with them monkeys. And I'm not gonna say that's every Latino person or people in general like that. I don't like to paint everybody with the same paintbrush, but that mindset certainly does exist, where them people look down, Latinos look down upon foundational Black Americans, call us the N-word with the hard ER. And how I know this to be true, I got a sister, and I've heard it before, but who really brought it to my attention is I got an FBA sister, that's half Puerto Rican, and she, exposed it, that a lot of, but she rocks more with her FBA side, she sees herself as Black, truth be told, but she said, that a lot of them, hold like anger and hate towards Black people, and they put Black people down, and a lot of them got like anti-Black views on things, a lot of these Latinos. So I know it to be true because my sister, like I said, she's half FBA, but she also got that Puerto Rican in her too, but she acknowledges more of her Black side, and she said this is true. She even seen this, so this exists, that a lot of them, are anti-Black FBA, you know what I mean? They just got the same white mindset of the European, truth be told, and a lot of them even classify themselves as white to get little perks set aside, the tangibles, you know what I mean? They looking for inclusion into the dominant white society. So just know that this mindset does exist in them Latino groups of people. This is why I've always said that, since I've been getting on the internet, since I've been seeing stuff, and I broadened my horizons and my view on things, that a lot of these Latino people, they look down upon our people and view our people in a negative regard, and there ain't no damn Black and brown unity. So the family that's running around, because I mainly see Black people doing this, talking about some Black and brown unity. We need to cut that the hell out, you know what I mean? And recognize that all FBA's got, foundational Black Americans, all we got is one another. And if you need some saving, or want somebody to help you out, look in the mirror. That's the only saving you're going to get is from another foundational Black American. You know what I mean? We only got our people, and all we got is us. We ain't got no allies. I was about to say not really, but I'm gonna say it. We ain't got no allies. All we got is us. And if we want something done, we got to look to us, have unity and, amongst our people, to get whatever we got to get done for our specific group and lineage of people. But what else did I want to talk about? Candice Owens says she has a bias. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Candice Owens, I'm going to pull that video up too. Candice Owens says she has a bias in terms of the news she will report on. She don't like talking about Nicki Minaj and Rihanna, other women from the Caribbean, but she sure as hell, will try to disgrace foundational Black Americans and put us out there in the negative light. So a lot of these people been done delineated, so don't let them try to run a game on you, family, that we're being divisive, this, that, and the third, from doing what we doing, delineating. We just locking down our group and, looking out for foundational Black Americans first and foremost. And ain't nothing wrong with looking out for your people first and foremost, because a lot of these other groups, that's what they doing. That's what they've been doing. That's why a lot of these other groups have got so much of a leg up and tighten a grip on, society, because they do business with one another, and we haven't understood this, in large part. But now we starting to get that, that our strength comes through unity and getting on code with one another, not looking at your fellow foundational Black American as some kind of ops, but you got to view them as, your brother or sister, get on code with them and start trying to, see what y'all can do together, because we're powerful together, more powerful together than we are apart. Bill Goody, FBA have been too kind. Yes, my brother Bill Goody, we've been too kind. We done looked out for everybody else. We can't look out for no more people. We got to look out for ourselves. That's like 1 + 1 is 2. We done looked out for everybody else. We done looked out to for everybody else at our own detriment. We subject ourselves to the fire for other people. And it's now time we got to look out for ourselves. If we don't look out for ourselves now, we're going to perish, and Dr. Claude Anderson was saying this, who else can we look out for? We got to look out for ourselves. That's common logic. Jonas Smith, that's a fact. Yeah, we got to look out for our people first and foremost. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. And people that want to, that's divisive, this, that, or the other, because I'm going to get to that later on in the video. But Mav Hoffa, he was trying to say that, he ain't with the like it's divisive, us excluding ourselves. And that ain't divisive. People been doing that. And what I'm about to show Candice Owens, she even says she got a bias in terms of the news she reports. She don't report on Nicki Minaj and Rihanna because they from the Caribbean. So that's her people. In the same way we got to be with our people. People look out for their people first and foremost. And that's how we got to be. And ain't nothing wrong with, doing that. And anybody that want to say so, to hell with them. Brother Hotep. Yep, she's been saying FBA don't deserve reparations. Stop asking for handouts. Yeah, and a lot of these people that say reparations is a handout, this is white supremacist talking points because it's old. Everybody else got paid. Jewish people got paid. Indian people got paid. So when does FBA get paid? They could miss me with that. This is just a bad faith argument that they want to put out there. Why are we begging? People say that in my comment section when I make videos regarding reparations. It's a handout. Get up off your ass. My people been off our ass. And every time we built something here in America, they work to try to burn it down or tear it down, running freeways and stuff like this through prominent black neighborhoods, business districts, burning down our stuff, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So they can miss me with all of that, but I'm gonna talk about Candace Owens behind, because she gets me mad. She'll put foundational black Americans out there in the negative light, but won't do it with her own people. This is why delineation was needed. It was way overdue. Hold on. Let me try to find this video over there on X, because X got a lot of the videos, like it gives it to them, it gives it to you in a raw form. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Fair use. How
much I liked this guy. I just had a feel like, okay, I'll be honest. I have a Caribbean bias. My former producer made it very clear to me that I have a Caribbean bias because when she pitched me story, I'm gonna say just how much I liked this guy. I just had a feel like, okay, I'll be honest. I have a Caribbean bias. My former producer made it very clear to me that I have a Caribbean bias because she'd pitch me stories or like say like Rihanna did this, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Rihanna, or like Nicki Minaj, and she's like, but I have a Caribbean bias. This guy's gotta say.
See, there we are, family. She said it herself. She got a Caribbean bias. And ain't nothing wrong with us looking out for our people. They look out for their people. Everybody going to look out for their specific group of people. And we as FBAs have looked out for other people to our own detriment. And, we did ourselves a disservice in that. And, now that we looking out and getting on cold with one another, ain't nothing wrong with that. So don't let nobody try to convince you that it's wrong, divisive, nothing like that. Because people say that to me all the time in my comment section. Well, FBA is divisive. It's a group, so on and so forth. Like we some kind of group. It's a lineage. They just do this to try to discredit us and, to stop what we doing, because while what we doing here, delineating and getting on cold with one another with the FBA lineage and just looking out for people in our specific lineage, it was well overdue. And the fact that people are so mad about what's going on now, the new wave in town, that lets me know how powerful it is, and that we sending out a statement that we doing the right thing, because people don't try to discredit stuff and put down stuff that ain't effective. That wouldn't even be logical to do that. Why would you put down something that ain't effective? So it's doing its job. It's doing what we needed to do by delineating and getting on cold with one another. Stormy weather. Peace, family. Another thing I want to talk about is Sadot X nut ass behind a brand Nubian. He found the strength inside of himself, in his cowardice behind to crawl out from whatever rock he was under and interject himself. I guess people were talking to him about, hip hop and the creation of hip hop, since our brother Lord Jamar, was standing on business, speaking out that FBA's created hip hop, and I guess he was getting, mad about it. And he said he ain't in it. You know what I mean? He only worried about his house, so on and so forth. He looked like he was in some kind of scrubs, working in a hospital. The family was heating him up though. You know what I mean? Bringing that smoke to him. They said it looked like if he working at the hospital, he probably taking out the trash or something like that. Truth be told, they was blowing his teeth, because he got those messed up teeth. You know what I mean? And instead of, him jumping into what's going on the internet, he should be worried about getting his teeth fixed. Truth be told, because he got some Freddy Krueger style teeth. Them swords that Freddy Krueger used to have on his hands. That looked like Sadot X teeth, truth be told. Now I'm just messing around, family. I'm just messing around. But in all actuality, he throwing around the word nigga with the hard ER, and just doing a whole bunch of nonsense, sadot X, and the family was heating him up though, you know what I mean, over there on X, and he's throwing around I'm seeing the influx of this too. Them tethers using the N-word with the hard ER, because Mav Hoffa did that on his video too, throwing around story weather. I see you, family. Yeah, but they were blowing him, the family, sadot X in his comment section. But I'm noticing the influx of these tethers throwing around the nigga word with the hard ER, and sadot X and Mav Hoffa did that. And when I was watching Mav Hoffa, he did that too. He said something along the lines, Mav Hoffa, that he don't, I want to get it right, that he don't respect the nigga or and put the hard ER on it, that wants to lock down hip hop and stuff like that, because it's divisive, so on and so forth. And the only reason that Mav Tether ain't got a problem, with giving away hip hop, because it ain't his culture to give away. If people will give away and include everybody, because it ain't theirs. And we got to lock down hip hop and everything that we built and created for future FBA generations, for the little kids and babies to know the greatness that they people possess. So I'm gonna pull up sadot X real quick, walking around in the hospital. He got some kind of garbs on. He probably was taking out the trash though, like the family said. That's probably all he was doing. I hope he wasn't up there operating or messing with nobody. Fuck somebody all the way up, truth be told. This is just one video I'm gonna pull up of him, but he got several videos, you know what I mean? sadot X. Trying to find that one where he was walking around in the hospital with that garb, them hospital garbs on him. Just a second, family. Here we go.
Yo.
Fair use.
The funniest shit happened to me. Like, somebody called me a tether, a dude. He said, "You're a tether." And I was thinking about it in my mind. I'm like, tether, feather, pink soft leather. You bitch ass nigga.
Spit going everywhere, coming through the gap of his teeth. He ought to keep his mouth closed instead of being on the internet, poking his nose in the FBA business, because I don't even know if sadot X is FBA, because a lot of people that have pushed back to us telling the truth of how hip hop was created, a lot of these people have pushed back to it because they tethers. They can't find themselves in our story no more. We've locked down our history and cultural art forms, and that's why they, crying and being disgruntled, acting like females and stuff, because they can't find a way into our culture anymore. And sadot X and other people don't got a problem with even Mav Hoffa, because it's I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if sadot X is a tether, but I just get them kind of vibes off of them. But while a lot of people aren't mad about giving away hip hop, because truth be told, you look into their lineage, they ain't even FBA. So of course you ain't got no problem giving away your cultural art form if it ain't yours. Anybody gives something away for free if it ain't theirs. But let's continue. We're almost always welcomed other people. Hold on, I want to read this comment from brother Hotep. We've almost always welcomed others from the diaspora. Marcus Garvey, Stokely, Sidney Poitier, Belafonte. Yeah, we Minister Farrakhan. And Minister Farrakhan is one of my favorite brothers. I got a picture of Minister Farrakhan, truth be told, hanging on my wall. And then people want to get to, and I heard Luke doing this too. And somebody asked me this in my comment section before. So is Marcus Garvey or Farrakhan a tether? Is Malcolm X a tether? And Malcolm X, he got FBA lineage in him. I believe his dad was FBA, if I ain't mistaken. I could be mistaken, but one of his parents was FBA, and they just play this game. They know what a tether is. A tether ain't nobody coming over from another place. That just don't exclusively make you a tether. A tether is when you work to undermine us, cosplay as us, and do things that are detrimental to the foundation of Black American society. Stormy weather. He is different. We need to stop doing that.
If your pops is alive or looking down at you, like tether, like, oh, that's what I taught you, bitch boy. Shit is funny to me though. You know, I just been playing with niggas. I play with them till I get tired, and then I move on to some other shit. You know, just as long as we keep it on the keys and nobody
he gonna get fired. Truth be told, he keep making videos at work. That's they gonna lay his ass off.
It's my physical fame of stepping the square. We can do it all day. It's when you decide to go the other way. You understand? Like I said before, half the niggas saying shit. If you seen a nigga in the street, you wouldn't say nothing to him. You wouldn't say a goddamn word
said he's a tether.
And that's the bitch boy shit. That's what this generation and these keys have done. It made you feel you could say all type of shit without repercussions.
Somebody said the fam Jonas Smith said imagine being a male nurse and talking tough. Gangster nurse. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But some a lot of the family say he was just there taking out the trash. So I don't really know. He was the trash man at the job. And let's continue.
But when you see a nigga, you don't say that then. Because if you did, half y'all niggas be getting beat the fuck up. You understand? I'm gonna tell her. So what? Like what happens now that I'm gonna tell her? Like what?
See, I get tether vibes off of him. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, whenever somebody gets all defensive about the creation of hip hop, us telling the truth, 9 times out of 10, that person is a tether.
What would it bring? Like, do I lose like points on my job? Do I not do shows? Do I can't travel? Do I what comes of me being a tether? Fuck out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough of that, family. Yeah, I just wanted, you know, he should have just stayed from in whatever, you know, wherever he was hiding out at, whatever rock he crawled from under, he should have stayed under that rock. Because a lot of these people, Dr. Umar included, saying that we need some kind of hip hop summit. A lot of these people are just coming out just to be relevant. They just want to be heard. And Sadot X got more views than he got, you know, and forever, you know, coming out and, you know, speaking of, and putting his 2 cents into it. So he liked the attention because he ain't used to getting attention like that. You know, he's washed up into hip hop. So he got to come and try to get some kind of validation over here and putting his nose into FBA affairs. So, you know, he can miss me with that. I just wanted to bring that to the forefront and talk about that. But yeah. Let's get right down to it. The Math Hoffa interview. That's why I'm pretty sure everyone was here. He's finally broken his silence, you know. And if you ask me, he did a bunch of nothing and, you know, a bunch of explaining. And the first thing that should have came out Math Hoffa and Fat Joe's mouth is an apology. He should have said sorry. Math Hoffa, he should have said, you know, I'm sorry for letting that white Latino sit up there and use that word nigga like that and you know, and disrespect the FBA lineage. You know what I mean? Because this is what needs to be said now. I don't think we should, you know, accept the apology whatsoever, but apology is for damn sure in order. So he got up there and just did a bunch of explaining, you know, and he went on to say that I'm gonna play some parts of the video that I took something down, some of my notes, and what he said, you know, he grew up around Latinos up in New York, so he don't see a problem with them using the word nigga, this, that, and the third. He ain't got no problem with Jose, Hector, and Ramon using the N-word. And this is a no-no, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you say you grew up around it, but you go into that household behind closed doors. I bet you they calling you a nigga with the hard ER, monkeys, this, that, and the other behind your back. So he can miss me with that, you know, and it ain't nothing wrong with us restricting who can and who can't use the word nigga. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I think it's by far time that we put some restrictions on it. I think we should have stopped using the word amongst ourselves. I always say that. I don't believe that brothers and sisters should be using that word, you know, when it's regarding us. We should use terms like brother, sister, you know, God, goddess, because in all actuality, that's what we are as foundational Black Americans. We kings and queens, but you know, that's another story. People going to do what they want to do. But if we're going to use it, I think that we should, you know, lock it down to only being used by Black people, you know, stop giving these Latinos and people a pass. Because I've seen videos on the internet where white people think they got a pass to use the word nigga. And I wish somebody, you know, white would use the word nigga in front of me. You know, they'd be lucky if they don't get hands and feet put on them. You know what I mean? But I even one time I was doing, you know, Uber for a little while I was in between jobs, and I picked up this white Latino, and you know, he was using the word nigga. So I'm like, yo, you ain't got a pass to do so. He like, you know, I'm Black. You know, I'm like, you ain't Black, man. You know, you're a white Latino. So he got mad, and you know, I was like, so what you want to do? I stopped the car right there, and he got out and slammed the door. I'm like, you slammed my goddamn door again. You know, and he took off because in all actuality, we shouldn't be letting anybody use that word nigga, especially not no non-black person, because a lot of these other groups of people, they look down upon black people, especially foundational black Americans. So they ain't got a pass to do so. That word nigga needs to stop being used. But if we're going to use it, let's consolidate it to, I don't use it personally, but consolidate it to your own group of people. Jay Blaze, these same broke are the same ones supporting Joe's career albums while my ass was broke, shaking my head. The tone Joe used, saying, yeah, Joe don't got no respect for black people, you know, and I'm glad that that's being exposed and being brought to the forefront. He don't really like black people, you know what I mean? And another thing, I want y'all to go back and look. I don't hear this being talked about too much. Go back and look at when Fat Joe was on stage for that versus battle, when our sister, what's her name? Vita and Lil Mo came out. He called them dusty bitches, but you could see the hate and disdain that he has for black people. You know, when he called them dusty bitches, he really meant that when he said that about our sisters, Vita and Lil Mo, you know, and that's what opened my eyes, truth be told. At that point right there, I was like, oh, Joe wants some different type of time, you know. Black people shouldn't support anything that Joe's behind, especially not no foundational black Americans. Stormy weather, use the word niggas. It is a meaning of kings and queens. Yeah, I've heard that. You right about that. I did hear that was meant kings and queens, but I say we just don't use it anyway, you know. And why people don't have a problem with Latinos saying the word nigga, because truth be told, it wasn't they people being strung up on trees and, you know, getting firebombed and getting German Shepherd dogs sicked on them. That wasn't they people. That was our people. So we need to put some kind of cap on who could use that word nigga, because, you know, they weren't, you know, subject to the kinds of things that, you know, we were. So they don't have the same fight and struggle, and they don't know why we don't want. This is why we don't want non-black people using that word, because they weren't put through the same atrocities. You know, our people were hung up on trees, and a lot of them, that's the last thing they heard was that word nigga before they was taken up out of here by the Ku Klux Klan or, you know, the white knights, so on and so forth. That was the last thing some of our people heard. So I think, you know, us letting outsiders use that word is us doing a disservice to the ancestors. But yeah. And he also was saying a bunch of nothing though, that man Hoffa Cat in his interview. He was doing a bunch of explaining as to why we don't know how it moves and shakes in New York. And it's bigger than New York. You know, we got to lock down that word everywhere. No non-black person should be using that word. And if we go and use it, we should consolidate it to ourselves. And he also went on to say, well, let me just pull a video up. Go ahead and pull the video up. Just a second, family. I'm going to pull the Mad Hoffa video up.
The funniest shit.
Yeah, he went live and, you know, he said a bunch of nothing in his live. And the first thing he should have said out of his mouth was sorry. That was in order. He should have said sorry to the foundational Black American collective.
So I don't understand the
fair use
about how a Puerto Rican kid from the Bronx who grew up on the same streets that birthed hip hop.
I'm gonna stop it right there. He don't understand the fake outrage. Who are you to say whose outrage is fake and whose outrage ain't fake? You know, because a lot of our people, that was the last word they heard, nigga. And white Latino ain't got a pass to use that word, nigga. No Latino does. And if we going to use it, we should consolidate it towards ourselves. You know, and what goes on in New York, you know, that got to come to a stop too. You know, if people using that up there, you know, just freely throwing that around, we need to consolidate and put some restrictions on who could use that word and who can't use that word, and who is Mad Hoffa to say, you know, who's got fake outrage and who don't, you know what I mean? Because he ain't even of the lineage, so that word don't hit as hard to him, you know, because I know in all actuality that word was a lot of the times our people's last word heard on this earth before they were strung up in a tree or before they got some kind of dog sicked on them. Truth be told, that was probably little Emmett Till's last words he heard, you know, before they did that nonsense to our brother. So that word hits a little bit different to me, and I don't let nobody disrespect the lineage, you know, and I ain't letting no white person, and for sure as hell, not no Latino either, use that word in my presence. Just a second, family.
on the same streets that birth hip hop. Like, I don't understand the outrage on how he talks. A lot of us are products of our environment. A lot of us are products of our environment. And even though, you know, we may become successful and we might move out the hood and be other places, and there's still that upbringing is still locked in. Like, you don't just shed the shit. You don't just shed the shit. And the motherfuckers who have seemed to have shed it, there's something fake about that. There's something real fake about that. To me. So, in New York.
And I want something else I want to add. I was just reviewing my little notes for this video. Math Hoffa says something that stuck out to me. I'm not sure if it's going to be played here, but he said that he ain't with the separation part. And, you know, he's trying to say that we trying to, you know, be divisive, so on and so forth with, you know, excluding people who, you know, are trying to tell lies about the foundation of hip hop, which was solely a foundational Black American creation. You know, these people have been delineated. I just, you know, played the video of Candice Owens saying she's biased towards the news she reported. So it ain't nothing wrong with us, you know, designating who's of the lineage and who can't, you know, speak for us and who don't got a stake in our foundational Black American cultural creation, which is hip hop. That ain't nothing divisive about that. If people want to, you know, say that's divisive, exclusive, you know, so be it. The only reason they saying it's exclusive because they can't find a way into it. What he's saying is he wants us to be, why they want it to be exclusive rather is because they can't, you know, find a way into it with it being exclusive. You know what I mean? Because what they want us to do is, you know, be as FBAs, one big melting pot of people where other people could come into our group and steal what they want to and latch on to our success, you know. And when this happens, family, this will wipe your history out. So we got to make sure our history as foundational Black Americans, our history of greatness ain't wiped out, and we just locking down and consolidating everything that we done and built, you know. We should have been doing this, you know, because that ain't divisive or, you know, and if it's exclusive, I mean, if he looks at it as being, you know, whatever way he wants, divisive, he could look at it that way, because what we doing now is consolidating our power, you know, and looking out for people based off of lineage. You know, it's lineage first, and we just locking down the hip hop thing because they don't got no claim in hip hop. You know, they might have, you know, been participants, but they for sure as hell wasn't there at the creation, and that's what they want us to say. And Math Hoffa ain't got a problem giving away hip hop because it ain't his culture. Somebody don't got a problem giving something away that ain't theirs. Brian W., we got to get our nationality together. I don't really know what you're speaking on, brother. Everything's in order with this FBA thing. Everything is, you know, it lays a claim to the land. It shows us being here at the beginning, you know, so nothing needs to be switched with FBA. That language is fine-tuned. Nobody can, you know, try to, you know, attach onto it because many of these people weren't here. They can't say that they got to claim the FBA. Few people can lay claim to FBA because it's so of an airtight term that everyone just can't come and find a place among. And that's why people are mad, because with us, when we was calling ourselves African Americans, there was no problem with that. I want y'all to peep game, family. When we were saying we were African Americans, you know, I've even used the term before I knew better. You know, when we were saying that, there was no problem with that. But the problem came when we started, you know, claiming the land, claiming the lineage, and, you know, got foundational Black Americans. When that came up in the lexicon, that's when people had a problem with it. And when we start now demanding that we want reparations, this is why everybody has a problem, because truth be told, they don't want to pay us no reparations, but we're going to keep driving that home that we need reparations for descendants of freedmen who built the United States of America. There would be no United States of America if it wasn't for our ancestors, you know, struggling and fighting. These people that come over here, you know, and want to assert themselves in our business, you know, it's really disrespectful because they come here and flee to the lane we build. If we never built it, they would have never had a lane to flee to, truth be told. But let me continue with the Math Hoffa.
It's just a different culture. It's just a different culture. And I get that y'all don't understand it. You wouldn't understand it. It's like you wouldn't understand it.
Now what he's speaking about is the culture up there in New York. And it's a different culture or not. I don't agree with no Latino or non-black people using that word nigga. So he could explain it till he blue in the face. He still ain't gonna sell me on that.
Watching me and my Spanish friends running around, yo, we out, nigga. Like, you wouldn't understand. Shit would probably blow your fucking.
And you and your Spanish friends running around and saying the word nigga, you saying it with them. I bet you if you go inside of them Spanish people's home, their elders, they gonna sit there and call you monkey and put the hard ER on it. And they ain't saying that to have no camaraderie with you or show you no acceptance or no positivity. They saying it in a negative way to denigrate and disrespect your people. And like I told you, I have an FBA sister who is half Puerto Rican, but she identifies more with FBA. She told me that Latinos be on this type of time.
All right, bro.
Mark Q. Shout out to Mark Q.
That was used on you by some racist.
Stormy Weather. Peace, family. I know that's right. Tap dancing math. Tether math. That's what I'm going to start calling him. Math tether. Because he's doing a bunch of babbling and explaining. And the first thing that should have came out this sellout's mouth was, I'm sorry for letting that white Latino sit up there and disrespect the FBA collective, because he just wrote it off as, and they know what he was talking about, but, they gave him a pass because he said, Mav Hoffa also says something in this interview. I don't know if it's going to play or not, but he said, somebody in the comment section, and it might play though, but I just want to explain it first and foremost. He said, somebody in the comment section said, you shouldn't have let Fat Joe sit up there and disrespect FBA. He said, FBA, I think I know something about that. So Mav Hoffa, in all actuality, you complicit in it as well. You knew what he was talking about in denigrating the lineage, and you knew what FBA meant, that he was disrespecting the whole entirety of people. So why did you let that, go unchecked, and you're supposed to be black, but you lack a black mind because foundational Black Americans, we ain't letting no non-black person sit up. And even if they are black and disrespect another group of black people, because we don't do that. We look at the system of racism, white supremacy, no matter who it's coming from. We look at their talking points as a barrier that we got to break down. So in all actuality, Mav Hoffa knew what Fat Joe was doing good and well. And, he sat up there and let him disrespect the lineage of people. And both of them should be canceled because, they think just because they did it to foundational Black Americans, we supposed to be at the bottom of the pot. That's why it ain't all over big wig media and news is covering it that, Fat Joe disrespect the whole lineage of people. But Fat Joe had disrespect a Jewish person like that or some kind of other group of people. That would have been front page headlines on all the news. Everybody would have been covering it. But the fact that it's FBA, that's why it ain't getting covered. You know what I mean? And he could miss me with that trying to explain. Nash 67, when I grew up in Queens, and then why we didn't allow them to use it, I would have been in a fight. They know better back then. I never gave nobody that pass. Yeah, Nash 67, we shouldn't give them a pass, this is a no-no, you know what I mean? And if we're going to use it, we got to consolidate really who can use that word, but I don't use it personally. I stopped using it. I used to use it when I was younger, but I'm 40 now, so I don't really use it. I took it out of my vocabulary because like I said, some of our people, that was the last word they heard was nigga before being hung up in a tree, before having some kind of atrocity committed on them. You know what I mean? And, I don't believe nobody should be able to use that. You know how much blood, sweat, and tears our ancestors shed for that, that word. And, being called that word was the last thing they heard. So they ain't got to pass a sad. Sir General 108, Mav Hoffa was scared. Yeah, Mav Hoffa was scared. You could tell it in his voice. He was scared, but he should have, just apologize, just been a man about it and apologize. I was wrong. I shouldn't have let, him use that word nigga like that and disrespect the whole lineage of people because Mav Hoffa, along with Fat Joe, they knew they were disrespecting the lineage of foundational Black Americans, but they tried to get that off because in all actuality, they don't give a damn about FBA. But let's continue.
It's the nigga that y'all, like, that's y'all definition. You talk to a New Yorker, bro. There's white niggas, black niggas, Indian niggas, Spanish niggas. Like, but we don't use them.
And why you throwing that word around like that, Mav Hoffa? Because you ain't of the lineage, so you don't know what has been committed to our ancestors behind that word. Let's continue.
That word the same way that y'all use it. We don't, and that's fine, bro. Blame it on the Timberland boot. Blame it on the Timberland boot. I'm not telling y'all that it's right. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand. So when you see something, you're like,
you can't make me understand. You can't sell me on nothing that ain't true, right, and exact. You know, if you can't pass me something that ain't, you know, you can't pass me a bad plate of food and then try to sell me that the plate is good for me. You know, that food got, you know, GMOs. It's been artificially flavored, high fructose corn syrup. You can't convince me that it's a good plate of food. You can't convince me that that food I just said that was bad is a plate of soul food. I don't want it. You know what I mean? I'm rejecting it just the same way we should reject the kind of nonsense he's trying to give a pass to the Latinos for using the N-word.
Trying to get y'all to understand. So when you see something, you're like, huh? Yeah, it's just a different mentality here. You know what I mean? P-Funk said, you can't please everyone, bro. Stay true to you. That's why I rock with you. Salute, Hoffa Gang. P-Funk, salute, salute, salute. I'm going to get to the other super chats in a minute. So when it comes to New York shit, maybe some of y'all should just mind your business. Maybe some of y'all should just.
And that's what we said with the hip hop thing. The hip hop thing is solely a foundational Black American creation. Maybe you should have mind your business in that regard, Mav Hoffa, with staying out of our culture and, you know, using our culture to get a bag, because truth be told, foundational Black Americans were the one that supported Joe and helped Joe come up, even you come up. You know, if it wasn't for us supporting and endorsing the music, none of these cats would even have the leg up they have in that music industry. It's our culture, you know, and you know how ludicrous and disrespectful that is for us to let other people try to claim hip hop as their own, because, you know, we can't go to these Latino countries or, you know, places in the Caribbean, Jamaica, so on and so forth, and say that we created reggae, salsa. These people are stoning us alive, you know, and it's very disrespectful that people think that they got a pass to come over here and claim our art forms. You know what I mean? This is like a slap in the face to our ancestors, you know, because all of what hip hop encapsulates, you know, was created, you know, off of musical art forms that we already had popping, such as soul, rhythm and blues. You know, that all comes from us. You know, for them to try to say it, where's they elements in it? You know, they have no elements to look back to that were already in the music. That stuff came from, you know, derived from James Brown, that soul and funk, and, you know, Roger Troutman and all of that, all of the brothers and sisters that came beforehand. So, you know, them trying to do that is really a slap in the face to us. We really need to start checking that, you know, but we checking it now. This is what this is doing in all actuality. This is why everybody want to cry and scream now that they see a new wave in town where FBA is getting on code and representing for our people. Because we were never supposed to do that. It was the wild card. You know what I mean? We introduced the wild card with delineating and, you know, saying who could come amongst us and who can't. Because, like, I'm learning as I go too. The power don't come from being all inclusive, because when you be all inclusive with everybody, they could wipe out your culture, you know, and then before you know it, your people come extinct and all your contributions you made go to them. This is why they want us to, you know, accept everybody in hip hop at the creation story. And them days is gone, you know, and this is why everybody wants to cry foul, because we introduced that wild card that's really shaking things up now, laying claim to the land and the lineage.
Just mind your business, because I don't know. Maybe y'all should just worry about what's going on where you at, because I guarantee you're not coming up here parading through the streets telling nobody to do nothing. I guarantee you're not coming up here parading through the niggas can stay on the internet.
If this guy don't shut his scary behind up, you know what I mean? He on the internet. Truth be told, you can hear the fear in his voice, because in all actuality, they know they disrespect the whole lineage of people. And even FBA New Yorkers don't like, you know, what's going on. I've seen videos of brothers, you know, from New York saying they don't like the Latinos using that word nigga. So he could miss me with that. And he don't got no problem with it, because he's a tether. You know, his people weren't put through the same kind of struggle and face the same kind of opposition our people face, not here on this land. So we fought to make everything better as foundational Black Americans on this land. You know, then once everything is better, now people feel safe to come over here after the real fighting is done. But let's continue.
Not coming up here paraded through you niggas can stay on the internet, you know, with your fake profile saying all the hateful shit that you can, but you're not coming up here paraded through the streets telling people how to live their lives. You're just not. You're just not. And if this don't help you understand, because I do not want anyone to feel offended
And the key part's about, listen to this family, a key point in this video is about to come up. Somebody explains to him what FBA is and who FBA is for. And he said he heard something about FBA. So that suggests that he knew good and well what Fat Joe was doing beforehand, disrespected FBA as a lineage. And he also, caught offense to, what the brother or sister was saying that explained to him what FBA was in the comment section. And, because they said immigrant, we're non-immigrants. And the immigrant part really got him and really got him going. You're going to see that later on in this video, family. And if you're new to the channel, family, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to start to put out more content, and coming with these fire videos for the family, and riding for the lineage, standing on lineage business, and if you're new to my channel, tap in with me, make sure you like and subscribe and share the videos too.
Offended. But it just is what it is. There's a lot of sensitive people out here, and they're looking for things to be upset about. They're looking for a cause that they can stand for. I'm not mad at you. That's why a lot of young boys join gangs. They're looking for...
And it's a noble cause. You can't compare a gang to standing up for your lineage. You know what I mean? Because standing up for your lineage, that's a noble fight. You know what I mean? And we're supposed to stand up for our lineage. Everybody in the world got camaraderie with their lineage first, you know what I mean? And they stand up for their lineage. But we were supposed to be that doormat as foundational Black Americans that no one was supposed to respect. Everybody was supposed to wipe their feet on coming into the U.S. And now we've introduced the wild card, which is delineation and locking down everything, because other people don't got no points on the board, and once we keep score of all of our achievements, they get to feel some kind of way deep down inside, because they look around and know that they had to flee to another country because they didn't have enough wherewithal and tenacity to fight back. America wouldn't have been a good place she is now, and she still got her problems, but it's the best place to live in. You can't live like this nowhere throughout the world. Everybody's flocking to America, and ask yourself, why is that? Because if we wouldn't have fought the oppressive system, you could bet your last dollar that slavery wouldn't have never stopped, because they didn't want to stop slavery. Slavery was looked at as a good thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, we standing and riding for the lineage. Back to this video, family. I don't know what I'm trying to read the comments to make sure I don't get no trolls. Mr. Mark Jones, he knows what it means. They talk because they forced to take accountability, and the FBAs and NY are walking up, and the FBAs and NYC are waking up. Yeah, I see videos of FBA brothers and sisters up there in NYC that don't rock with this. He trying to pass it off as, using that word nigga as a good thing, coming from non-Black people. But I see videos that, old school brothers are saying, nah, we ain't with that. We ain't letting nobody non-Black use that word, especially not no white Latino. Jay Blaze, fame makes these people delusional. They got their wealth off of our backs, creations, and support. Yeah, they got rich off of us. They got rich off of FBA, and now want to, disrespect the lineage. And, if it wasn't for FBA, these people would have never made it to where they are. Let me clear this person out. We wish people well, but we ain't worried about the diaspora. They ain't worried about us. People want to flee over here. They want us to be worried about what's going on in the diaspora. When the diaspora ain't worried about us, these people don't practice no, and they want to talk about Pan-Africanism. People don't practice no Pan-Africanism, because if they practice Pan-Africanism, they would be staying over there in their countries and fighting to make it better. Once we make the lane as FBAs, people want to come over here and, fix their nose up at us, when they should be showing a debt of gratitude that we laid it down and made it a safe place for everybody to come over to America. Because like I said, America would have been never no good place to come over to. They'd have kept slavery intact if we wasn't giving no resistance and pushback to it. But let me continue with this.
While a lot of young boys join gangs, they're looking for something to belong to. They're looking for an identity. Most people don't have a personality. They don't have a personality, so they look outside of themselves for an identity. And once they find an identity that accepts them, then, they go all out for it. Hence why somebody would be attacking a GoFundMe post for a brother of mine that has cancer. because of something that you heard Fat Joe say on my show. Like, not understanding that. Not understanding that. So for those of you that think I was just sitting around knowing about, you know, your cause or what you stand for, whatever, I have no clue. No clue.
Nah, he's playing victim because he even said it. You're going to see it later on in the video, what I'm talking about. Somebody explains to him right what FBA is, and, you know, why would you let Fat Joe disrespect the lineage like that? And you're going to hear what he's going to say. I'm just trying to catch that part.
No clue. And in the event that you see someone that you're supposed to be standing up for, he is playing
victim right now.
Someone that you're supposed to represent.
Tether babbling and explaining.
Or you represent some sort of powerful movement for our people, because
our people, he keeps saying our, you know, our, we've been tried that, you know, playing along to get along, going along to get along with everybody, you know what I mean? That was black, you know, and a lot of times we were getting the short end of the stick. You know, it's not about, you know, we wish everybody well, but right now it's just about foundational Black American empowerment and upliftment. And cats got to understand that, you know, we ain't worried too much about what none of you cats got going on. You know, we just focusing on, you know, our people getting that leg up, reparations, and just looking out for foundational Black Americans first and foremost. He kept saying our, like, you know what I mean? You ain't of the lineage, you know, and it's a problem. I don't know why it's a problem. People act like they don't understand what, you know, foundational Black American means. You know, it's a lineage of people. You know, every other group I think he's West Indian, you know, every other people got their lineage and, you know, look out for their people first and foremost. Jamaicans look out for their people first and foremost, you know, East Indians, you know, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Jamaicans, Dominicans. You know, why is it a problem that foundational Black Americans are doing the same? You know, they know what we mean when we're talking about lineage. We're talking about foundational Black Americans. Everybody want to play dumb, like, you know, it's divisive, this, that, and the third. Well, if it's divisive, y'all was divisive first, but it ain't divisive looking out for your people. You know what I mean? Because everyone else does it. I don't know who this person is. Stormy weather. I don't know if you an ally or you coming in here to disrupt, you know, but I don't know. I'm gonna watch your chat though, you know, to see what type of time you on, because I'm having a hard time watching the chat and, you know, talking and staying on, you know, not losing my train of thought.
Yeah, some of y'all might not think that I'm Black.
I'm gonna let you rock for a little bit till I know
you, growing up,
what type of time you on.
Police did, the judges did, you know, the racists that you know I had to deal with did. So I don't know. If it's, you know,
okay, I see you, Stormy Weather. You say I am an ally. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure, because it's hard for me to focus on this and, you know, do two things at once.
Word against theirs, then you know, it's a little fuzzy for me. Yeah, when it comes to New York shit, y'all just not gonna understand it, and I'm not mad at you.
Stop trying to pass it off and make it normal that we should understand it. You know, we ain't got to understand nobody, you know, disrespecting our lineage and using that word nigga like that ain't a Black person.
It's not understanding. I personally don't like the separation shit.
Here it goes, separation.
I don't like it.
It's about to talk about it now.
What are we really standing for? What are we really standing for? What is the end goal?
It's not no we, and it's not separation, us looking out for our lineage and telling the truth about where hip hop created. You know, now he's saying separation, you know, and this is done in bad faith. These people been done has separation and stick to their own little groups and enclaves of people. You know what I mean? Because Jamaicans, when they come over here, they stick with their group. You know, people from Nigeria, when they come over here, they stick with their group. You know, Dominicans come over, they stick with their group. Now, why is it a problem that we as foundational Black Americans are sticking with our group? They can miss me with that. P. Lynn, why is and why portrayed as such a philosophically united place by these rappers? They trying to pass it off to me, and my point, P. Lynn, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. They trying to pass it off like that as it's some kind of, you know, all-inclusive place, you know, to get us to include everybody in, you know, what we got going on now of locking down our lineage and, you know, saying what our cultural art form did. They want us to be inclusive, you know, and this is why maybe they trying to lock, you know, say NY is inclusive, you know, so we include them on, you know, the hip hop thing. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I know for sure that NYC ain't like that, because I seen cats on the internet, you know, and I know cats from NYC too, you know, and I seen cats on the internet say they ain't with Latinos, you know, disrespecting the lineage and, you know, the things that they doing up there, you know, saying the word nigga. They ain't with that, you know what I mean? It ain't like how they trying to paint it on the internet to be that, you know, people are separated, you know, foundational Black Americans are with foundational Black Americans, Africans with Africans, Dominicans with Dominicans. God gave us hip hop. God gave us hip hop, French. So according to him, there are NYC Black, and then the rest are entire country Black. Shaking my head, the level of ignorance, getting deeper. I don't know this person. It's an ally or not, but I'm gonna clean them up. Back to this video, family, because he about to say something pivotal that I want the family to catch.
What are we really standing for? What is the end goal? When you create outcasts and you look at people like
where I get that flag, that's our flag. It's Foundational Black Americans. That's a Black American Heritage flag of 1967, I want to say. I'm not sure, but this flag is all over the place. Go to blackAmericanmerch.com. You know, that's a Foundational Black American website. You can get it, and they got a lot of more flags, you know, for Juneteenth and everything. FBA.
People who supported this culture, I look at them as allies. Eminem shouting out my podcast, that's an ally. It's also an artist that I respect. Fat Joe coming on the platform, Catapult, I look at them as allies. I don't seek to outcast anyone. I had Robert F. Kennedy on.
It ain't outcasting, again, to delineate and look out for our group of people. This is why they want to keep, you know, saying this, because they want us to be all inclusive, to all inclusive us. That way people could come amongst us and lay claim to our lineage still, so on and so forth. And them days is over. You know, we ain't with that, you know, and we consolidating our power and getting on cold with one another. And ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. They want us to tell lies. We ain't telling the lies, because the truth is the only thing that'll set us free.
My platform. I'm not seeking to outcast anyone. Do we have words that separate Blacks and Jamaicans like a Yankee?
Yeah, yep. One of the family in the comment section said, you talking about, you know, everybody, you know, being together on some kumbaya kick, when y'all people got the words that separate Black people, like, you know, people, Jamaicans and, you know, Haitians and Africans, they call us Yankee and, you know, Akata, so on and so forth. Now everybody want to cry foul that we getting on cold with our lineage. The same thing use people do. You know, use people come over here and don't so much as look at foundational Black Americans. You don't even know about the foundational Black American struggle before you sit up and say, you know, they always like to say we lazy, this, that, and third. They have no idea about us building this nation, you know, upon coming over. So they need to really have a foundational Black American history class that these immigrants are required to take, even if they want to come over here to America. I think it should be taught to them, you know, just what our ancestors did and went through and fought for in this country. But let's continue.
Blacks and Jamaicans like a Yankee. I mean, but bro, that don't make you not Black. That don't make you not. You see what I'm saying?
We're not saying people ain't Black. You know, he's missing the point. You know, we saying that they're not foundational Black American, so which means that they ain't entitled to the creation of hip hop. You know, it was created solely by us. The rest of the people are Johnny come later. Yeah, they can, you know, they participated, you know, in that regard, but they didn't, you know, create the damn thing. You know, we let people in and try to welcome people. Before you know it, they kick us out and say that they created it all together.
We can't keep searching for division when unity is what they fear.
We tried unifying with Black people globally. We tried that for many years, you know, and a lot of our people were the really ones pushing for Pan-Africanism. But that Pan-Africanism thing, we were getting the short end of the stick. These other people, you know, felt they had a pass to come here and undermine us because they shared the same black skin. And, you know, most of the time they were working, you know, to undermine the things we were going. We wonder why we weren't getting no traction. And we look back and we got these damn tethers undermining, you know, us pushing forward for our people. So miss me with the Kumbaya story, but most of you people coming over here, even if you're Black, don't want to get on code with foundational Black Americans. And we ain't saying people ain't Black, but we saying for sure as hell they ain't foundational Black Americans.
Unity is what they feared. So the more we try to divide and separate and split up and no, you can't be with us and you can't be with us. Like, bro, where we going here?
We ain't saying people can't be with us, you know, but we saying that they ain't other lineage. We ain't saying we can't have people that ain't FBA as friends, you know. If we find some people that's riders and on code with us, cool. But we ain't looking for it, you know. We locking down the lineage and ain't nothing wrong with excluding people, you know. Everybody can't show up to everything, you know, because when we make everything all inclusive, that way they get to, you know, that's why they want that done. So they get to steal from us and remix stuff and, you know, tell lies about how things was truly created.
Be with us. Like, bro, where we going here? What are we doing? We're just trying to weaken this shit?
Andrew said FBA only. FBA only, you're right.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like I said, I'm not trying to insult nobody. I'm not trying to upset nobody. I'm not trying to but I do not agree with the exclusion. I don't agree with it. I don't. If you feel like this should be.
And it's not exclusion, telling the truth. Again, I'm going to keep pointing that out. It's not exclusion, telling the truth. And if you think it's exclusion, then you're just going to have to take it whatever way you want to take it. But, you know, we can't sit here and let people undermine us and tell lies and steal our cultural art forms. Where the hell they do that at? You wouldn't even do that. And the reason you don't have no problem giving the hip hop away to all these other people is because you don't come from the lineage that created hip hop. So of course you wouldn't have a problem with it. It ain't yours to give away.
Exclusion, fine, that's on you. That's on you. Me personally, if you watch my platform, there will be Hispanics up there, there'll be whites up there, there'll be blacks up there, there'll be all different types of the green niggas, yellow niggas, brown niggas, blue niggas, there'll be all types of shit. I don't stand for that. I don't stand for it. I don't stand for it. And I don't think that the people in this culture, especially people who have been accepted by the greats in this culture, I really don't understand how people can be upset or want to outcast someone who's been accepted by the greats. Talk to your heroes in hip hop. Talk to your heroes in hip hop and see how they feel. Talk to them. I don't get it.
And you got some people in hip hop that know the truth. A lot of the older FBA brothers and sisters that was around at the creation of hip hop. But, you know, Microphone Check, the movie, showed a lot of them brothers and sisters. But the mass media ain't trying to give them people no voice or no leg up because it goes against the narrative that they want to push of hip hop being all inclusive. You know what I mean? Hip hop was exclusively made by foundational Black Americans, and people could like it or not. That just is what it is.
We need to find something else to be enthusiastic about because I'm not your enemy. Fat Joe is not your enemy. We not your enemies, son. We are not your enemy. We are not seeking to oppress you. It's just weird. Just search for, COINTELPRO. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do think that there is something afoot when it comes to how weird this shit is.
Ain't nothing weird about locking down your culture or art forms and so on and so forth. It's weird to them because they can't find a place in the creation of hip hop. That's the only weird part about it.
Like the Klan that used to hide their faces under their mask. There's a lot of shit like that on the internet. But I was trying to enjoy my holidays and shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope that y'all enjoyed your holidays. You know what I mean? Let me get to the super chat. You right, Math. Appreciate your courage.
Here,
bro.
go. Listen to this.
Hey, salute. I've been your fan since like 2013, but you should have checked Fat Joe for the anti-FBA. I'll be honest with you. At the time, I didn't even know what the FBA was. And FBA is an ethnic identifier for non-immigrant blacks, not organization. Bro, I kind of get what you're trying to say.
He gets what he's trying to say. He knows good and well what we're trying to say, and he's feeling some kind of way because the brother and sister in that chat, said that FBA is a non-immigrant black person responsible for the creation of America. He knows good and well what it is. They trying to make it like, it's divisive, this, that, and the other. And listen to what this tether Hoffa is about to say.
Well, when you talk about blacks and immigrants,
you're an immigrant.
We all just scroll the clock back
Listen
far
to this.
enough. We all immigrants, dog.
Hell no. We as foundational black Americans, we can't let them play that game that we immigrants. We ain't comparable to no damn immigrants, because what this does is, it slaps our ancestors in the face for fighting, to build up America. We have foundational black Americans working on the White House. Our sister Grace Wisher sold that American flag. There would be no America if it wasn't for foundational black Americans. So we ain't no damn immigrants. You come over here once the infrastructure was in place. Math Hoffa's people and a lot of these other tethers, all of these damn tethers, once the infrastructure was in place. But if it wasn't for the foundational black Americans laying it down and, fighting with resistance to this oppressive system, nobody would have a safe space to even come over here and enjoy what's going on in America. We ain't no damn immigrants. In the way he's feeling some kind of way and saying we all immigrants, because he wants to try to make his fight comparable to ours, saying that he's the same as us, and we ain't the same, and ain't nothing wrong with, being from no other place either, but we ain't the same. We foundational black Americans. We got a claim to this land. We got ties to the land, the soil, and, we're responsible for building America. We were enslaved here, and other people just ain't got that kind of story, history, or legacy, you know what I mean? And people that want to try to, argue otherwise are just mad because they tethers and trying to project that nonsense on us, because they had to flee.
I don't know if you realize that. We just rewind a little bit longer. We all immigrants, dog.
Nah, dog, we not all immigrants, because a lot of our ancestors were already here before Columbus even discovered America. He threw them black explorers together, the black aboriginals, and our people that were being brought over on them ships. Some of us came in them ships during slavery, but they just lumped us all together and called us all Negroes. And we had an ethnogenesis here in America. We went on to become a new group, and that group is foundational black Americans. We ain't comparable to nobody. We're our own group of people. So, and the rest of them guys is Johnny come laters once everything was intact.
Last time I checked, civilization started in Africa.
And if you want to make that argument, white people have been claimed from Africa, but does that make them African? It's not even an argument. It's not even up for debate. You got your own lineage, West Indies, wherever you from, and that's okay. We got our own lineage too, and ain't nothing wrong with putting on and representing for the lineage. Every other group of people, looks out for their lineage first, and this is the same type of time we on. It ain't nothing wrong with doing so. And for him to try to say that we all immigrants is because he's feeling some kind of way deep down that he had to flee from a country that was in an oppressive state, these countries that are in deprived of resources, this, that, and the third, and they can't get it together because they didn't come on code. If we wouldn't have came on code, we would have never got out of slavery. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, they had a good thing. They thought them white slave masters and white supremacists with slavery. So they would have never knocked it down if we wasn't fighting to make it so. But let's continue.
Started in Africa. Am I tripping? I feel like we all unified in our experiences and the things that we got to fight against to make better. Let's unify in that.
Yeah, family. He just did a bunch of explaining. He also went on to say that, from his understanding, Black people and Latino people created hip hop together, which just couldn't be further from the truth. Hip hop was solely a foundational Black American creation, and people don't have no problem with, giving the culture away because it ain't theirs to, it ain't theirs. So they ain't got a claim in it, like we do. That's why there's the same fight to hold it down ain't in them like it is in us, because we fighting to hold this thing down for future FBA generations, because we know in all actuality we made it. Our people shed a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, not only for whatever we did in this country, you know what I mean? For whatever we did in this country, we fought, we faced oppressive systems, dogs being sicked on us, and these people, just come over here and try to lay claim to something. It's very disrespectful and distasteful, if you ask me. And he also went on to say that, what else did he say in this interview? Yeah, he just was saying, he said something with, he don't like the nigga with the hard ER on it that tried to, lock down hip hop for theyself, you know what I mean? And, exclude everybody else. And it ain't that we, locking it and excluding people from it. We know people, participated in it, but we locking down the history, the story of it, the origin story. So anything else that you want to say that, this group was there, that group was here, couldn't be further from the truth. It was created solely by foundational Black Americans. And, that interview that Mav Hoffa put out was just done in bad. It was just tether babbling and explaining. The first thing that should have came out that brother's mouth was, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for letting that white Latino get up there and use that word nigga and disrespect a whole lineage of people. And he didn't do that. So that's very telling that him nor Fat Joe offered up no apologies. Even though I don't believe that we should even accept the apology, they should at least have the decency inside themselves to offer up one. And, I don't think that foundational Black Americans should rock with Mav Hoffa either, nor Fat Joe. Don't support anything that these tethers do. Nat Turner, FBA, why do they stress that we want to unite under FBA and do not our own thing and take back what is ours that our ancestors left us, the chosen people of this land? Yeah, they always got a problem with anything FBA does. FBA Nat Turner, they got a problem with everything FBA does because people can't find themselves in our struggle no more. Our fight, we've locked it down. We taking a credit for all of our points. We've been too given as a people, truth be told. I'm tired of us giving. It's no more time to give. We ain't got nothing to give. You know what I mean? We ain't got no more nothing in the pockets to give. It's only time that we take back what's ours. You know what I mean? And stop everybody from, cosplaying to try to come amongst us and being parasitic leeches of our lineage. Because a lot of people just want us to hold them up and do all the hard leg work for them while they reap all the benefits. You know what I mean? And hip hop, even if you Black from the diaspora, hip hop don't belong to you or no damn Latinos either. It belongs to one group of Black people, and that is foundational Black Americans, the lineage of freedmen who built America, who were enslaved in America, and who never got their just due in the form of cash reparations. And we're going to get that too, because we just got to keep our foot on the gas pedal with it, and keep that up in the lexicon. Mav Hoffa, that Mav Hoffa explanation was, that Mav Hoffa explanation, Brother Lee, or family, whoever that is, was, that was a bunch of BS, like you said, because he got up there and did a lot of babbling. He should have just said sorry. A simple apology would have been in order, but he tried to, get us to co-sign the word nigga being used by Latinos, which I'll never co-sign that. If we're going to use it, it got to be consolidated. I don't use it, but it should be consolidated to our group of people. You know what I mean? And he just tried to make us to get, on some kumbaya kick, and that kumbaya kick, we done tried that, having global unity with all these other groups of people had gotten us nowhere. We getting more done now, focusing on the lineage, truth be told, than we got done in a while. I think this is the right way to go about it because, you see all the resistance we get into the FBA lineage, us representing the lineage and, calling, putting on for the soil over here in America. So they got a problem with that. But when some of our people were on that Pan-Africanist kick, trying to have camaraderie with people, Blacks all throughout the globe, it gotten us nowhere. They ain't have a problem with that because the power ain't in that. The power don't come from you letting everybody come and extrapolate resources from your group. The power comes in you uniting with your group alone, and y'all standing alone and working like every other group of people do to have a leg up. You know what I mean? Like the Jewish people don't, you know, they spend their money with Jewish people. They don't go outside of their group. First and foremost, they're in their mind, they worried about looking out for the Jews, you know, Jewish people. That's the same way we got to be worried about looking out for FBAs. FBA comes first. Now, I ain't saying not to help nobody, but, you know, always look out for your people first. You know, if you can help people, that's cool. You know, I'm all with that, but we got to worry about us now. And it's a new day and time where we're looking out for foundational Black American interests and prioritizing our needs. And that Math Hoffa cat, I'm going to call him Math Tether. You know, that wasn't no, I don't even know what that was. It was a bunch of BS and a bunch of explaining. He should have got out there and said sorry and, you know, and not did a bunch of explaining. He even said hip hop, to his knowledge, was created by Blacks and Latinos. You know what I mean? And then try to say it's a different wave up there. We don't understand them using the word nigga. He could miss me with that, you know. Truth be told, he could really miss me with that, you know. And I ain't letting up on him either. I ain't giving him an inch, because when you give somebody an inch, they want to take the whole mile from you. So yeah, it's a new day in town. Panther Jones, the code is unity for FBA. Yup, the code. And us getting on code is really shaking things up. That's why they was in fear. They wanted us to be in all disarray. And once we work as one cohesive body and we all transform like the Power Rangers, I don't know if any of y'all, but when I was growing up, we had the Power Rangers. You know what I mean? I used to watch that show. And when all of the Power Rangers would come to build that Mega Borg or whatever that stuff was called, you know what I mean, family, when they all transformed into that robot where everybody came on code and they had to do battle and they get all big like that, you know what I mean? That's when they was ready to do battle, and they had power in that when all of them got on code and came together. And when they transformed like Voltron, and that's what people are in fear of now, you know, of us all getting on code and of us all, you know, attaching with each other, and, you know, your hand on my hand on your hand. We all walking in solidarity as the FBA collective. They don't want that, you know, because we got the power to knock some things down and to change some things when we all transform into that big Power Ranger, like I was talking about how they used to do back in the day, you know. But I don't think we should give, you know, Math Hoffa no pass. You know, he did a bunch of explaining, and him and that Sadot X cat was, you know, using the I don't know what he was meaning though. He missed me with that, because there was a part of that interview where he was talking about he don't like nigga, you know, but he was putting a hard ER on it. You know, he don't like the nigger, like he was saying, you know, that would, you know, lock down hip hop. You know, he missed me with that. You know, once Sadot X was throwing around the word nigga with the hard ER too, them cats missed me with that. You know, maybe that's a tether thing, but, you know, we as FBAs, we don't use that. You know, that I don't know, you know, maybe I don't know what the hell he meant, but, you know, it's just a new wave in town, and him and Sadot X was both using that term nigga with the hard ER. You know, because they ain't got no problem with nobody using the word nigga, because they that ain't black, because they people wasn't subject to the same things our people was subject to, the Jim Crow, the redlining, you know what I mean? Our people getting strung up in them trees. It's just FBAs is we a different breed, man. You know, we know how to come out of oppression and still come out of that oppression with our head held high and our chest poked out. We don't let nobody disrespect us. A lot of these other groups of people sit up there and let a white person, you know, call them an N-word to their face and not do nothing about it. You know, they put up with a lot of abuse. This is why they can't get their homeland together, because instead of coming on cold, the first thing that comes in their mind is, I got to run and go to somewhere else. You know, and we as FBAs never had the ability to run. And even if we did, we wouldn't run, because we only understand fight to knock it down. And when we was fighting, we wasn't fighting just to knock the system down for us, but for everybody in this world. You know what I mean? And that's the part that really gets me mad, why I don't let people come up here and disrespect FBA, you know, because it's a slap in the face to my ancestors that fought this oppressive system, so everyone could come over here and have a safe place. And like I said, they need to be teaching about FBA history the moment these people, these foreigners, get over here, because they want to say we lazy, this, that, and the other, come with these white supremacist talking points like we get a leg up. We were the only group of people that never got a leg up from this government. You know, anything we had to get it out the mud. This is why reparations is due to our people, you know. Stormy weather, crazy leg is a tether. I have Puerto Ricans trying to make crazy legs a Puerto Rican ambassador of breakdancing. Crazy Legs and them guys ain't nothing. They want to try to write. They, come into our story any way they can. They look to finagle, into our story. We created everything. All of the elements that went with hip hop was foundational Black American hands. You know what I mean? And foundational Black Americans, we never received our just due credit with anything we do. We always got somebody, trying to steal our accomplishments and achievements. The same way we had a lot of inventions stolen from us, and white people, Brother Tariq Nasheed said this well. Whenever somebody white creates something and you see somebody Black next to it and saying that they helped create it, that means that they really created it. We really create stuff and everybody wants to come and lay claim to it. And it's now that we said enough is enough. We just getting on code and looking out for us. That's where everybody want to cry and play foul. But yeah, family, if you in this live stream, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with more content, and I'm still learning as I go. I was trying to pull in videos into this live stream, but I really don't know how to do it. And if any of the family knows how you can do that, I was messing around with OBS. I'm just getting more acclimated to even doing lives. Truth be told, I'm not used to this, so I'm just trying to get acclimated to it. And I'm going to be putting out more live streams and things like that. We're going to keep coming with the heat. So make sure you like and subscribe to my channel and for that nonstop FBA empowerment, because I wake up, with FBA empowerment on my mind to the time my head touches that pillow at night. So we're going to keep, pushing for the lineage. Jonas Smith, keep up the good work, brother. Peace, family. Yep, I will. I'm going to keep the foot on the gas pedal and the foot on the necks of these tethered that want to come and try to disrespect FBA lineage, because it won't be tolerated. But that, Mayor Hoffa interview where he was trying to get some explaining done. It was a nothing burger full of him, trying to get us to co-sign a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of tether babbling and explaining when he should have just said sorry. That was what was in order. Neil Morton, much support to FBA. Thank you for standing up to this nonsense. Yes, family, Neil Morton. Yeah, we got to stand up. And I'm going to stand up on this platform daily because, like I said, I wake up with foundational Black American empowerment on my mind. And to the time I go to sleep, and I wake up the next morning to do it all over again. It don't stop. It's a nonstop battle. You know what I mean? To reclaim what is ours that they try to steal and, finagle their way in, because the power don't come in us being inclusive. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. The power comes with what we're doing right now, getting on code, delineating, and being about lineage first. That's where the power lies, and exclusive. You got to exclude people. People got to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing done through, everything is done through adversity, and people are just crying now because they're not used to us pushing so hard for the lineage and us trying to, get on code with our people. You know what I mean? This is really shaking things up because everybody can't find a place among us no more and try to tether and latch on to what we're doing. So yeah, we just push it forward. And that Mav Hoffa interview was a bunch of nothing and nothing burger. And I'm getting ready to get out of here, family. I'm about to go to the gym. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to keep on banging them inside their head. FBA revolt. Joe might be wrong about FBA's participating in hip-hop. But hip-hop is mentioned. He was talking about organization. I don't really understand what you said, Amazon T. Mirage, being wrong about. Puerto Ricans ain't for damn sure equal to what we did in hip hop. They didn't do nothing in hip hop, but they were Johnny come laters. They was participators, but not creators. We created, and everybody want to try to finagle and try to find a way into what we do. And that's just not going to be tolerated no more. We got to tell the truth, because the only thing that will set us free is speaking the truth. And it's FBA with me all day, and I'm keeping my foot on the gas pedal. And Mav Hoffa ain't nothing more than a tether who got out there and did a lot of tether explaining and babbling, trying to co-sign the nonsense of Joe when he should have checked Joe, because even, we would have checked him if it were an FBA platform, if, he would have been speaking something to anybody Black throughout the world, because we understand, riding it and standing on lineage business as foundational Black American. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, this person, Mirage, but I don't give a damn what Joe talking about, because Joe ain't nothing more than an anti-FBA tether, and he ain't got no love for black people. You know, I put that out there, you know, in the beginning of the video. I think he harbors a lot of hate and disdain for black people. We need to be giving him pushback and resistance, because he got racist views. You know, he sat up and called Vita and Lil Mo dusty bitches. That was hate and resentment coming out of him towards our people. You know what I mean? He don't like black people no way. And the brother Raheem from the Furious Five already exposing that he was calling black people monkeys. You know, a lot of these Latinos is anti-black, you know, and we got to stop, you know, thinking that these people are with us, because truth be told, the only people that foundational black Americans got is foundational black Americans. You know, I'm getting ready to get out of here, family. I'm headed to the gym. So everybody, you know, have a good week and, you know, a good New Year's, because the New Year's is coming. Be safe out there. We only got a few days left in this particular time. You know what I mean? And it's going to be 2025, you know. I don't know if anybody got New Year's goals and resolutions, but, you know, just push for success. If you ask me, that's the only thing I'm pushing for, and no New Year's can do that. You know, I'm pushing for success every day. The same way I want all my people in the chat and everybody that subscribed to me to push for success every day. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to get out of here. And, you know, much love and respect to the FBA family. Salute. You know, have a good New Year. If, you know, I don't tap back in and do another live, until then, FBA, be one all day, every day. Peace.